Have you ever wondered why life seems to repeat the same struggles no matter how much your circumstances change? We often believe that external shifts, more money, a new job, or a different city or environment or home will bring us happiness, if only. Yet, many of us, after making those changes, realize that we remain stuck in the same patterns. The truth is, lasting change begins from within. Until we transform ourselves, life will continue to reflect the person we are, not the world we wish for. So I'm Roach, Mark Roach. Welcome to my YouTube channel, where I share my journey recovering from complex PTSD. This video is from Maurice Nicoll's Gurdjieff Psychological Commentaries, Volume 4. Since much of this work is like 80 to 100 years old, I've revised it and brought it forward, trying to make it a little bit simpler for you and to bring this relevant, some relevant material to you today that may spark something inside of you and draw you into the work and to enrich your life. But first, let me share a few highlights from the original text, and then I'll share my updated, more relevant version of what Maurice Nicoll called, "This work is about change of yourself, not change of your life." To change your life, you must change your being, that is yourself. As long as you remain as you are in yourself, you will attract the same problems, the same difficulties, the same situations. The person you are, the kind of person you are, the being that you have at this moment attracts some situations, the same conundrums, the same insoluble problems. So the teaching of this work is about changing yourself. And if you change yourself, your life will change. You are not the simple, sweet person that you think, the kind and just man. All this is just imagination and belongs to what the work calls the imaginary I. It is just this imaginary I, this imagination that we have about ourselves, that this work begins to attack through the method of self-observation. You must attack yourself, not others. Remember, the whole secret is, in this teaching, not to change the external circumstances, or not to try to change the external circumstances. Because if you do not change yourself and the way you take the repeating events of your life, everything will recur in the same way. The point in the work is to change this machinery that is you. Of course, nobody thinks that they're a machine, yet it requires only a year or two of self-observation to see that you are or were a machine. The work says you're a machine driven by life. We're machines driven by life without knowing it. And we do not act consciously. But when we begin to realize that we are machines, we lose something of the imagination of ourselves that keeps us going. And as a result, this machinery that we have taken as ourselves becomes more evident to us as not being our real selves. That is, one becomes aware to a certain extent that one is a machine and one need not react to the external events of life. The work begins by saying an increase of consciousness is possible through self-observation, by becoming more conscious of the kind of person that you are. It says that instead of taking yourself for granted, say as a harmless, good and lovely or man or woman, you should observe yourself and notice what you're really like. As we are fastened to our imagination of ourselves. We find for a long time difficulty in seeing what the work is about. We find it very difficult to realize that we are the chief malefactor That is, because we do not know ourselves and live unconsciously of ourselves, and so never think about that most of our own life problems, which we blame on others, are due to our level of being. That is, the kind of person that we are, which, as we said, we leave out of every situation. We do not include ourselves in the equation of life. We leave out X, that is oneself. And X remains an unknown quantity. So start on the path of inner evolution, of a new meaning that alone explains our existence on this insignificant planet. Okay, now let me jump over to a modern rewrite of this. Let's dive into the profound journey of self-discovery and transformation. This isn't about altering the external aspects of your life, like redecorating your home, choosing the perfect vacation spot, or finding the best restaurants. No, this is about a deeper change, transforming yourself. The essence of this work is understanding that your life is a reflection of who you are. It's often said that your level of being attracts your life. It's often said that your level of being attracts your life. Imagine winning a substantial amount of money. You might think this windfall will change everything for you, but the truth is that unless you change who you are, your life will remain the same, possibly even more complicated. This work begins with the realization that external changes won't solve your problems. The same issues and challenges will persist if you remain unchanged internally. Many people believe that if only their circumstances were different, they would be happier or more successful. However, it's not the external world that needs to change, it's you. The journey starts with self-observation. Most people are convinced they know themselves, but often they don't realize how much their external difficulties are linked to their internal state. We tend to blame others for our problems, believing we're inherently good and well-meaning. This work challenges that notion by encouraging us to observe ourselves critically. Through self-observation, we begin to dismantle what is known as the imaginary I. This is the false perceptions that we have of ourselves as innocent victims of life's circumstances. As we peel away these layers of imagination, we start to see our true selves and understand how our reactions shape our experiences. Let me repeat that. As we peel away these layers of imagination, we start to see our true selves and understand how our reactions shape our experiences. As you embark on this path, you'll notice a shift in how you respond to life's recurring events. Situations that made you angry or upset lose their power over you because you're changing from within. You may still have the same house and lead the same life outwardly, but internally, you're evolving. Remember, the secret isn't trying to change what's outside, but transforming how you respond to it. We often react mechanically to life's events, driven by ingrained habits and unconscious patterns. This work teaches us that we are like machines reacting without awareness. By observing ourselves and recognizing these mechanical reactions, we begin to increase our consciousness. We start to see that we don't have to react as we've always done. There's an opportunity for growth and change. This process of self-observation is ongoing and requires dedication. It helps us become more aware of ourselves and others, potentially leading to a more peaceful existence. As we become more conscious of who we are, who we truly are, we stop blaming others for our life's problems and take responsibility for our own transformation. Ultimately, this journey is about discovering the unknown factor within us, our true selves, and setting out on a path of inner evolution. By understanding and observing ourselves deeply, we unlock new meanings in our lives and contribute to a greater understanding of our existence on this planet. Thanks for joining me in this exploration of self-transformation. I'm Mark Roach, wishing you all the best.